Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. Jason and I are in tree planting mode today. This fall was our tree fall. We're calling it tree fall, and it is where we're getting all of the trees that we want in our garden planted. And we ended up purchasing 21 trees from the garden center, and we've got all but 5 of them planted. So we committed that today, which is such a relief. It is only going to get about 88 degrees today. It is the first day that I feel like the heat has broke, and in our 10-day forecast, we don't have anything above 90. So because this is the first day of cooler weather, we decided we're going to get all the trees in today so that we can be done with that and we can move on to other fall planting that we have. So that is our goal today, to get all 5 trees planted. I took the girls to school this morning while Jason was busy working, digging his holes, and he has all 5 holes dug, which I am so impressed with him that he was able to do that. He said some of them were like butter. They were easy to get through, but some other ones were a little bit difficult. But he did the hard part already, so this is going to be easy for me. So of the 5 trees, 4 of them are Redbuds. And if you didn't know that I was a fan of Redbuds, I think you know now. I'm obsessed with Redbuds. I have been for a while. I just think they're the most beautiful tree, and the foliage is just so classic and it's just so beautiful. I love it. Then there's a whole bunch of different varieties of Redbuds. So that's one thing that I find really, really fun, is that you can pick which variety really speaks to you. And so you can have a ton of Redbuds in your garden, but they can all look a little different. For instance, look at that. Look at that with the sun behind it. Isn't that beautiful? This is a Merlot Redbud. This is called a Merlot Redbud, aptly named for the Merlot colored foliage that it gets on its new growth. So this variety is actually a hybrid of the forest pansy redbud that I really, really like, and I was deciding whether to get that one. So it's a combination between forest pansy and another variety called Texas white. This one gets about 10 feet tall and wide, so not huge, but big enough. And the cool thing about this Merlot one, other than these gorgeous leaves, is that it is supposed to be one of the most heat tolerant and drought tolerant redbuds out there. So I think it's going to be really, really happy in our garden. So you can see where I am. There's the long border right there. Coming down this way, I have my 3 stock tank planters, troughs, and then I have this planting area right here, which I didn't have too many plans for. I had thought originally that I wanted to plant grapevines right here in this kind of border next to the driveway, but then I realized my dog likes chewing on everything, and so he's going to chew on the grapes, and I don't want, that's bad for dogs. So I decided to scrap the idea of planting grapevines here, and instead I just wanted to landscape it and basically put some trees in it. So I have the Merlot Redbud right there. Again, that's going to get 10 feet tall, 10 feet wide. And then I have this guy right here, and I know some of you, I know what you're going to write in the comments about this tree that I'm planting kind of close to my driveway. This is called a strawberry tree. It is the coolest tree. It's named for the cluster of these red berries that grow in fall or winter. So it's an evergreen tree, so it has fall and winter interest. And then in the spring, it has these beautiful bell-shaped flowers that are just absolutely gorgeous. The thing about the strawberry tree is they can be a bit messy. The berries can be a bit messy. So you don't want to plant this near a pool. You really don't want to plant it near a driveway, but we have such a long driveway. Like, if it's just this one spot that gets messy, I'm not going to worry about that. And to me, it's worth it. This tree is so beautiful, and everybody I've talked to around town that has this tree loves it, absolutely loves it. So this guy's going to get tall. It's going to get about 25 feet tall and wide. And this cultivar right here, this is called a Marina. And the reason why I wanted the Marina is because that variety has this red bark that will peel just like a manzanita tree. And I love the look of manzanita bark. So it's going to have that same thing. Again, it's going to be evergreen, so it's going to have winter interest. And I'm really, really excited. And I think this is the perfect place for it, other than the fact it's a little bit over the driveway. But again, we have such a huge driveway, we just won't park right there. Okay, and then coming this way, you can see we have another redbud. This redbud is a smaller one. This redbud only gets to be about 5 feet tall. It's about as tall as it's going to get, but it can get up to 12 feet wide, anywhere from 2 to 12 feet wide. It's called a traveler weeping redbud. It is just so beautiful. The thing I love about this, look at these weeping branches. Aren't they just gorgeous? I'm a sucker for weeping trees. And when you have a weeping tree and a redbud tree, oh my goodness, it's just the perfect, it's the perfect tree. So this tree is pretty short and pretty wide. It's another variety like the Merlot that is extremely heat tolerant and drought tolerant versus other redbuds. However, if you live in a colder environment, you probably don't want this cultivar because it doesn't do very well in cold conditions. This one also is one of the very first to bloom those beautiful redbud blooms in the spring. So I'll be excited to see this early on and see what color blooms. They say they're like kind of pinky purpley, but you know how redbuds are. They're always a little bit tinted, a little bit different. So I'm just so excited to see this one. Okay, and then the last two are over here in the center island, and these I am so excited about. I am so excited because we don't really have access to these trees. These are called rising sun redbuds. These are so cool. They're about 8 to 12 feet tall and wide. And the neat thing about these, it doesn't really show right now, but basically what it is it's an ombre effect on this tree. If you guys watch the Southerner's Northern Garden, Matthew has one of these in his garden and it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. And that's the first place I saw one of these. And then I knew I had to have it. And when I saw it at the wholesale nursery, oh my goodness, I was so excited to get it. So the cool thing is the leaves, the foliage will start out dark green, then it'll come to light green, then it'll fade to yellow, and then it'll come to like this bronzy orange color, which literally mimics a sunrise, which is just, it's just going to be so beautiful. And again, it has the pinkish blooms in the spring. It's so gorgeous. I'm just so excited to have it. So a couple planting tips I've learned for rising sun redbuds in particular. So most redbuds can take a little bit of shade, and some redbuds actually do better with afternoon shade. These guys though, they like full sun, full sun, because that's going to give you the best ombre effect for color. So you definitely want to plant these in full sun. I am right in the middle of my center island. This is all day sun. These guys are going to get plenty of sun. Another thing I read is that the rising sun redbuds have difficulty growing in compacted soil. They really need to establish their roots as quickly as possible, but their roots are not very strong to get through tough soil. So what you want to do in response to that is you want to dig as big of a hole as you possibly can, because then all the native soil that you have dug out of the hole, when you put that back, it's going to be nice and loose, and the roots are going to be able to get through that loose soil a lot easier. And so the rising sun redbuds are going to be able to root in really well. And then the third thing I learned about the rising sun redbuds is it's the new growth that gives the beautiful color, which is why you can't really see it right now, because obviously there's not there's maybe a little bit, but there's not very much new growth at this time of year. So you want new growth. So it's really important to fertilize these trees. So early spring, before they've broken dormancy, you want to give them a good tree fertilizer so that all year they have new growth and they can give you the best color. So lots of sun, loose soil, and definitely tree fertilizer for these guys, and they are going to show off beautifully for you. All right, so we've got 5 holes dug already. Now we have to plant 5 trees. We are going to be using starter fertilizer to help establish the root system, get the roots growing as quickly as possible. We are not going to be amending our soil that we're putting back in the holes. You never want to amend the soil, but we might top dress with some compost just so that there's plenty of organic matter and nutrients for these trees. And then we're also going to plant them a little bit higher than the ground level. And we're doing that just to make sure that we have really good drainage. It's always a good idea. Higher is better than planting lower for sure. So Jason's already done the hard work. Now let's plant the trees. All right, all 21 trees are in and they look beautiful. Wow, I cannot believe what a difference trees make. Like, this is a new property and they're not even big. They're not even grown in. Every year it's just going to get better and better. Okay, so let me take you through quickly and show you all 21 trees, and then I'll show you a couple extra that we planted before we purchased these trees. So these two right here, these two are going to go on either side of the dry creek bed that's going to go right up to a little gazebo. These are Rising Sun Redbuds. Right here, this is a little gem magnolia. This one is going to be evergreen, as is this one right here. It's a weeping Atlas cedar, and it's gorgeous. Oh, I love that one. I love it. And you can see I planted a Chinese pistache right underneath it, right in front of the rocks. Oh, I just think it's gorgeous. Then we have two Tuscarora crepe myrtles. They're going to be beautiful. This one is in a little bit of shock, as is my Keith Davey Chinese pistache. I'll walk over there and show you guys in a second. Trees can go into shock after you plant them. I mean, you're messing with the roots and everything like that. You just got to kind of watch, kind of baby them for a little bit, and they should bounce back next season. So the two Tuscarora crepe myrtles, they are on either side of this pathway, and I'm hoping that they'll kind of grow together, and I'll prune them so it'll be like a little archway that we can walk through. And then coming this way, I have my Chinese pistache that I absolutely love. Poor thing is not very happy at all, but this one we did get an extra large size one, like a 25-gallon one. And when you buy bigger trees, they get more stressed when you plant them. So I'm not really surprised it lost some of its leaves. We've got some new growth on it. It's still nice and supple, and so I think it's going to be totally fine, but it's a little stressed. So not included in the 21 trees, we have this deodar cedar right here. Absolutely beautiful, very slow grower, but it's going to get big, and hopefully it'll cover this utility pole. We'll see. Coming through the orchard garden, we have three podocarpus, 3 of the 9 podocarpus that we planted. These are just the Podocarpus graciliar. We have one right there, one in between the 2 orange trees, right where Monty is. You see that? And then a third one right here. It's going to look so good, you guys. I'm so excited. Coming over here, we do have a Eureka lemon right there. This one I didn't count in the 21 trees, but we did get it at kind of the same time. So this one should grow. It should be beautiful. It's going to be a fabulous addition to the orchard garden. 2 what I would call pseudo trees. They're kind of like shrub trees, tiny trees. They're both going to get about 10 feet tall. And this one is the El Nino Chitalpa, and I'm going to prune it into a tree form. So it's going to look like a tree in the center island, but you can also grow it as a shrub. Same thing for this one over here. This is the Temple of Bloom 7 Sunflower. This one I definitely need to prune and start training. I just wanted it to grow a little bit more. So that one is going to be beautiful. Gorgeous rosy pink bracts after some white blooms, and then it is deciduous. It will lose all its leaves, but it has gorgeous bark. Right behind that, I have Robbie the Willow, and this was a gift from my friend Robbie. It is growing like a weed, as expected for a willow, but look at how beautiful that is. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. I'm so excited to have this in the garden. Then coming over here, we have a tulip poplar. This is going to be probably the biggest tree that I have in my garden. It's going to get like 80 feet tall. Again, it kind of got a little bit stressed when I planted it. Lost some of its leaves, but I think it's going to be totally fine. It'll bounce back. Coming down the long border, we have 3 more of the Podocarpus. We have a smaller sized pink velour crepe myrtle right there. That one's going to stay small. That one's going to stay like 8 feet. And then we have a Monterey cypress. What was the name of this one? I always blank on the name of this one. It's like citrus or... But Miley? Oh, you're right, because of your dorky dad joke. Miley Cypress. You're such a nerd. I wish you were mic'd up right now. So when we got this tree, was it just Miley? Yeah. Miley Cypress tree? Okay, this one's called the Miley Cypress tree. No, that's not its real name. Of course not. Oh, you're such a dork. Okay, moving on. This right here is an apricot tree that was here. I got like 5 apricots off of it. I got enough to make a dump cake, so that was good. I need to take better care of it next year, I think. So I'll be working on that. And then we have one of my absolute favorite trees. This is a Wichita blue juniper. Gorgeous, love it. I had one in my last garden. Had to have another one. I probably will get more of those, honestly. This one right here is a purple hopseed. It's green right now, but as it starts getting a little colder, all the foliage is going to turn kind of like this bronzy color. Really, really beautiful. Gorgeous tree. Some people call it a shrub, but again, you can prune this into a tree. Here's the last 3 Podocarpus graciliae that we have. Beautiful. And then we have a Magnolia stellata. It's not doing great. It's not very happy, and I'm not totally sure why. I'm going to kind of baby it a little bit because I really want it to do well, but we'll see. We'll see how it does. And then coming down here, we've got the Traveler's Weeping Redbud. Gorgeous. Oh, just so beautiful. This way, Merlot Redbud. You can see the foliage it's going to get. It's new growth. Look at how beautiful. Look at how beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful. Oh my gosh, is that blooms? Okay, this poor thing is confused. It's not spring, but you can see the color of the blooms right there. Okay, I'm glad I got it planted because it's definitely confused. This guy has blooms on it.
It does already?
Yeah. I mean, it's just confused. Not funny?
Not supposed to.
Not in the fall.
I don't know.
No.
Look at that. That's pretty.
It'll bloom in the spring.
Huh.
It's just confused. They're just stressed out. They needed to be planted.
Huh.
Yeah. You want to tell everybody what you're doing?
I'm getting rid of all this drip that was around the propane tank.
Oh, yeah.
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 We don't need it anymore.
Progress on the propane tank?
Sorta.
Okay.
Yeah. We have plans.
We have plans to be announced. And then over here, we have our strawberry tree, Marina. Just so beautiful. I can't wait till it starts blooming. I just want to show you guys. It's such a pretty, pretty tree. And then coming in the backyard, the last 2 trees that we planted in tree fall. This one, you guys, it's probably my favorite. Honestly, it's probably my favorite. This one is a October Glory maple. It is just the most majestic, beautiful tree, even at this size. It's not even that big, but every time I walk by it, I just stop and turn and look at it, and I honestly think this is going to be my favorite tree. I really, really love it. And then, last but not least, we have the Roman candle Podocarpus. So this is very similar to the Podocarpus graciliae, the 9 of them that we have. However, this one is variegated. It has variegation on the leaves. Really, really interesting. This one is definitely leaning. You see that? It's definitely leaning. So we're going to have to be training that, but we'll get there. We'll get it right. So as these trees grow up and mature, oh my goodness, this whole place, this is going to be a different property. So I think trees make a huge difference for a property, but I also think lighting makes a huge, huge difference. It is night and day when you see a garden lit up at night with beautiful landscape lighting. I love it. So now that all my trees are in and planted, I am breaking these babies out of the box. I've had these guys sitting in a box in my garage for a couple months now, and I've been waiting to put them out in the garden because I wanted to strategically place them. These are solar garden spotlights from Hoselink. Hoselink, funny enough, is actually really well known for their solar lights. I have other solar hanging lights that we're working on a project in the backyard we'll be doing later on this month. But for now, I want to get these solar lights up. These guys are perfect for uplighting trees or doing like spotlighting on maybe like a sculpture or a fountain or something like that. These guys, I'm excited about them because they have this super big battery that's supposed to make the lights last all night long, which is great because I have other solar lights that don't. They last like an hour and then they run out of charge. So this guy is supposed to be able to hold charge all night long. And then there's also 2 modes that you can turn on. You can either turn on the spotlight or you can turn on kind of a wash of light. Obviously, we won't be able to see it until later tonight, but because I have this new camera, it has a night mode. And so I'm going to try and show you guys a night shot of the garden. But what I'm going to do right now, I have 8 of these. I'm going to decide where in the garden, which trees I want to have up lights for. I do know I want 1, maybe 2 to go on the espalier in my front garden. This guy right here, I definitely want this to be lit up with light. So I think I might put the lights over here on this berm right here and have it shine up. I don't know. I have to kind of play with it once it gets dark tonight and see how it is. But I know I want that all lit up. So depending on how wide the wash of light is, I'll do 1, maybe 2 for here. So that gives me 6 more of the spotlights. So I have to decide what trees I want to put those spotlights on. So I don't know. I think I definitely want to put it on the weeping cedar because I think that will just be absolutely gorgeous. Probably the weeping willow for sure. Definitely the October glory maple in the backyard. And then I kind of just gotta, I don't know, I'll kind of move them around and I'll see. So I think what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to stop filming. Once it's nightfall, I'm going to start putting out all the solar lights and kind of moving them around. And I just realized I want one on the deodar cedar and I want one on the fig tree. Okay, I might have to get more of these lights. So I'll wait till it's nightfall just so I can see kind of what it looks like. And then I will come back and I'll show you guys a nighttime look at the trees with the spotlights uplit. Okay, good evening, everyone. It is, what time is it, Jason? Like
7:15.
7:15. The sun is down and the lights have turned on and it's so exciting. Doesn't that look good?
Looks really nice.
Looks beautiful. So beautiful. So there are 3 modes. There's the spotlight mode, there is the color wash mode, and then there's a combo. And this is the combo right now. Can you go over there and on the back of the solar light, there's a button. And you just push the button so we can show everyone you just push it. Yeah. So that's the wash. That's the spotlight. That's off. That's a combo. Okay, wait. Go again. Hopefully you all can see this. Ready? Combo. Whitewash. Spotlight. What do you like best?
I can't tell. What do you like? This close, it's hard to tell.
Go back to the combo. Yeah, I think just the combo. Beautiful. You can see everything in the dark. Well, you can't see anything. All right, let's take you to the front yard so you can see the other lights. Okay, here's the espalier. Doesn't that look good? So for this one, we decided not to do the combo of the spotlight and the whitewash. We decided just to do the whitewash, and I think that looks really, really good on this wall. It just lights everything up. Oh my goodness.
It's really nice.
Okay, let me show you the center island now. We've got a light on the magnolia, little gem magnolia. And then over here, I did a light on the weeping cedar, which I think just looks beautiful.
Awesome.
Doesn't that look amazing? The weeping willow. Oh my goodness. Doesn't this look good, babe?
Yep.
I think maybe this one should be just the white.
The whitewash?
Yeah.
I think so too.
And then over here, look at how good that looks. We need to get like 10 more of these spotlights.
We need lots more. We need that needs 2 lights on that tree.
Yeah. Okay, so I cannot tell how much you guys can see night vision. I'm going to go inside and edit this and see if it's working. This is night vision mode on this camera, so hopefully it's working. But I can promise you all, this looks incredible, right?
Yeah, it looks great.
Oh my goodness, this looks so good. So I hope you all can see anything of what we're seeing, but we are definitely enjoying it. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.